A full field of MG6 XPowers, and we are starting in the back. Can we make it all the way to the front? Well, let's see. And with that, welcome back to HD Racing. Some of you did ask for this, so here it is, the MG6 XPower in the Spotlight series, so with upgrading. But don't worry, we are afterwards also gonna take a look at this car in the Touring Car series and try to figure out if this car is just too strong there. But for now, let's take a look in an even playing field, kind of. As I said, we are starting in the back here on Silverstone International with a fully upgraded MG6 XPower, but to be fair, only a few people in this lobby also have a fully upgraded car. A lot of people are somewhere between not upgraded and a little bit upgraded, all depending on how far the people have leveled the car. So for the first couple of corners here, I was taking it a little bit easy. I didn't want to get involved in any incident that like if I could avoid it. And luckily I managed to for the first couple of corners here. On this one, I was quite lucky. With the guy spinning and actually going backwards a little, I was just able to avoid him and go around the inside and actually pull away quite quickly. Because as I've said, a lot of people in this lobby have not upgraded the car fully, while I have. And if you have leveled the car enough, I'm not quite sure what level you need exactly. I think it's like around 25-ish. Then you will have the ability to upgrade the car fully. If you want to take my tune, you can of course do that. It is as always shared on Forza and I'm a username HD Racing, so you can just search for creator with my name. And yeah, you'll be able to find that and the tune for the Touring Car series as well. But we've already talked about that one and I've also showed that one in the last video on the MG6 XPower. But yeah, in this race, in the Spotlight series, everyone in MG6 XPowers, it was really fun, I have to say. But also, there was a little bit of bumping going on here. These two guys were struggling a bit and I was just trying to get by because it seemed like I was faster and I barely managed to keep it on track here. Because this car now with upgrades, let's just talk about that right now. There are barely any handling upgrades for this one. The only thing that you can do is tire width, and I did that, and a little bit of weight reduction from putting in the right parts in terms of engine upgrades. But other than that, it is just that, engine upgrades. You just upgrade power in this one mostly. And that means the handling stays kind of the same, but the power increases quite significantly. And that meant that this car felt actually quite ridiculous. I mean, this is now 800 PI, and it really felt super fast, and the handling was, I mean, it was still good if you managed to slow down enough, but because of the amount of speed that you have and also the amount of acceleration, it was crazy. And you can see I was thinking about going on the inside of this yellow MG, thought better of it and was like, let's try and get him on the straight, just get a good exit, and I managed to kind of do that here and actually pull away. And you can see the ridiculous acceleration of this car now. As I said, really fun. I'm not quite sure when I'm gonna be able to publish this video, so maybe there isn't much time left, but if you still have the opportunity to do a couple of races in this series, it is fun and it's not gonna be around for that much longer. So yeah, get on it if you like this car and if you like these kind of ridiculous races, because this one actually is. And well, as you can see, I managed to get all the way to P3 right now, and now it's just about catching up to the two guys that are currently fighting in front. And we did jump ahead a little bit here, and we are now actually almost caught up and quite close. So let's see if I can make something happen. I was really wary about not causing any stupid incident here. There's just one lap left, so I was like, okay, if I get a nice opportunity to go for a move, then I'm gonna take it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna try to play it safe because I don't want to spin anyone out here. And luckily, this opportunity arose way quicker than I thought. There was a little bit of contact in front, and they both went a little wide and didn't hit the apex, so I was just like, okay, thank you, and I managed to get through on the inside and was also actually able to pull away quite quickly here. Not quite sure if maybe some people did choose a different tire compound, so maybe went for softs, or if maybe their driving or tune was even worse on tires than mine was, because you can take a look at the tires in the bottom. We only did 6 laps of this now, which is like a little bit over a minute of a lap, and the medium tires are already in the front, almost at the point where it becomes undrivable. Like this, already you can already feel this degradation, and it's now gone into a moderate tire where you can see it's starting to go red. And yeah, that's one of the biggest things about this car. Even when it's not upgraded, but in this series upgraded, the tire wear is even worse because, well, more power and you tend to slide more often. Of course, with better driving, you could probably make that better, but it was kind of difficult to control this car with the amount of power that it now has. But it was really fun, and yeah, if, as I said, if you have the chance, give this thing a try. And you can see here in the screen, a lot of people didn't have a lot of upgrades in the car, so yes, I was able to go from almost last to first, but I don't think it was that big of an achievement, to be quite fair. But it was a fun race. I just want to quickly interject while I have you. If you're new around here or haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please feel free to do so. It would really help the channel quite a lot, so thanks for that. But now let's switch gears a little bit and head into the touring car series once again. Because as I said in the last MG video, and also touched upon it in the video on the Peugeot 308, I want to figure out if this car is overpowered now. If this now takes the spot which was basically taken by the Audi after the VW Golf got nerfed. We had this situation before. VW Golf definitely was overpowered in the touring car series until it got nerfed in, I think, update 2.0. And well, after that, as I said, the Audi did take the top spot, but it wasn't like super overpowered. It was kind of close in the top. Yes, I think it was the best car, maybe shared with a Link, but I think those two cars were definitely the best cars to go for, even though you were still able to win races in some of the other cars as well. But now, with the 2 new cars added, it's something that we gotta figure out. Is this one, or maybe even the Peugeot, now too strong? And well, we'll try to figure this one out. Yeah, you can see the race in the background here, and we are on Suzuka, as you can clearly see. And well, since we also did the race on Suzuka in the Peugeot, a little bit different conditions, but still kind of similar, I was able to go quite a lot faster in the MG here, both in qualifying and in the race, than in the Peugeot. As I said, it's always a little bit different conditions, so I wouldn't take this as a one-for-one comparison. But I also did the hot laps on Barcelona. You did see that also in the MG and the Peugeot video. And already there I felt like the MG was at least a little bit stronger. And well, for me at least, and for my driving style, felt quite strong. And looking at the lobbies right now, I've done a couple more races, both in the MG and the Peugeot, and it seemed like a lot of people did gravitate towards the MG. But that might also be due to the fact that this car is available to everyone to just buy with credits. As I've said before, this car, that's the nice thing. The VW Golf was a paid car, it was a car pass car, so that was the strongest one was really unfortunate. That the Audi then was the best one, or at least shared with a Link, both cars available to everyone. So if a car has to be the best, that's another thing that we will touch on in a bit. If a car has to be the best, then okay, then it should be a car that is available to everyone. But yeah, as I said, I really feel like the balancing should be better. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Turn 10 and them not able to A, get the balancing right from the start, and B, being so slow to react. I mean, yes, they did nerf the Golf after quite some time, but the Audi R8 in the GT in the GT cars is still overpowered in my opinion, and quite a bit stronger than some of the other cars. So yeah, I'm not sure. And again with this one, it is a very, very strong car. I would at this point wager to call it at least a little bit overpowered. I don't think it's at the same level as the VW Golf was, but it is strong. But yeah, let's actually focus a little bit on this race right now, since I haven't talked much about that. You were able to see it in the background, but yeah, I was starting in P2 and I managed to keep that position and actually managed to pull quite a gap to the guys behind. The guy in front was, you can see also in the MG, was able to do quite a bit faster lap times in qualifying. Almost a second faster, I think. And I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be a situation where I just will have to let him go and he's gonna run away. That actually wasn't the case, and I was quite surprised by that. And you can see here we are in lap 4, and I'm able to catch up even more. And that, I think, is due to tire wear. I don't see any other explanation, because he was always at least on par, if not faster than me, but in this lap I was able to gain quite a lot. And you can see here I'm on his back, and going into the pits I'm basically like right on his tail. And I feel like that is due to tire wear, and I think that is where a lot of the experimentation with this car will come from. How will you set up your car, and how do you drive to really extend tire life enough so you don't have really bad tires at the end of your stint? You were able to see how bad my tires were in the end, and I think his were even worse. By the way, this will be really interesting, and I don't know what really was going on here. Going out of the pits, for some reason he was either released slower than me, or maybe he wasn't on throttle when he was exiting the pits, or maybe didn't shift up, or something like went on there. I luckily was able to react and go to the left and actually able to overtake him, but I feel like I shouldn't have been able to in this situation. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but yeah, for some reason I now find myself basically in P1. Yes, there is still someone in front, but he did not pit yet, and I'm fairly certain we're gonna catch up to him if he doesn't pit, and if he does, well, then it's an easy overtake regardless. But yeah, I was really surprised that I was able to jump the guy that is now behind me, and I knew at this point this is gonna be a struggle to actually keep him there, and it was, but it was really fun racing. So definitely props to ETR Rich. It was a really fun battle, and I feel like he was really respectful, both driving in front of me and also behind me. There was no really like unfair driving or bumping or anything going on. It was just a really nice race. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. You're gonna see in the rest of this race. But just quickly going back to the point about tire wear, you could see lap 4 I did gain, so I feel like either my setup or my driving was just a little bit more friendly to the tires, and I feel like he did shred his tire just a tiny bit more. And that really reminds me of the VW Golf. That also was a ridiculously fast car before the nerf, but it also was really hard on its tires. It was always manageable, but it definitely was worse than most of the other touring cars. And I feel like it's gonna be the same situation with this one, from what I've seen so far. And yeah, just comparing, by the way, you can see the guy that was in P1 now is actually going to the pits. So yeah, from what I've seen now from different people in races, so just comparing both in qualifying and in the race, the lap times, and also my own times that I'm able to do in a hot lap scenario, I feel like this car is a tad bit overpowered. How much, I really am not able to quite tell right now. Just going from my own times, I would say that the Audi was quite a good car, but I was able to go just a little bit faster, probably around the same in the Peugeot. Like my lap times in the Audi and the Peugeot were quite comparable, so I think the Peugeot fits in quite nicely, maybe also a little bit too strong for a paid car, but I don't know. That's something that I'm not 100% sure on right now. But in the MG, I'm able to go like 2-3 tenths faster on Barcelona, and yeah, than in any other touring car. And as I said, also from the times that I was able to see in multiplayer races from other people, it seems like this car is really strong. And I feel like there is gonna be a nerf coming in at some point. When that will be, and if that will actually be the case, who knows, and well, we will just have to see. But for now I feel like the car is definitely strong, and I would say a little bit too strong. I think it's still a car that you can use and you shouldn't feel bad for using it. At least that's my assessment right now. That might change, but I don't think it's the VW Golf situation where you're basically like ashamed of using it because it's a paid car and it's just too strong. I don't think it's quite the same situation. Everyone can drive this, and I don't think it is as bad as the VW Golf was, but it's a good car for sure. But as I said in the video before on the Peugeot, that also is a very great car. And yeah, if you like the more handling focused and just more stable car, that definitely is a really great option. And I also really like that car. I think even more than the Audi, for example. But yeah, I think that is everything that I have to say on the MG 6 XPower. As I said, really fun car, maybe a little bit strong, we will see, but yeah, let me know what you think and what is your experience. Also from your own driving and from what you've seen in online lobbies. Do you agree with me? Is the MG6 a little bit too strong? And what about the other cars? So both the second new one, the Peugeot, and the other cars in the touring car series, like comparing like to the Audi and the Link and maybe some other cars. Definitely let me know, and if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you could do so and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. That also really helps me out. But that's it from me. I've been HD Racing. Thanks a lot for watching.